Hello there, I am Ashok. Today we are going to discuss the topic clocks. In this topic, we are going to cover these four models. Okay, so the first model is angle between hour hand and minute hand. I will give an example. Let us take, want you to find out the angle between hour hand and minute hand when the time is 3:30. So most of the people will think 3:30 is going to be like this in the clock and they will say answer as 90. But this is actually wrong. If you observe the original clock, the angle is going to be like this. Okay, the hour hand is going to be in between 3 and 4 and the minute hand is going to be on 6. So if you find out exact angle, this is going to be only 75. That's our first problem. Like he is going to give you a particular time and you need to find out exact angle at that time. Okay, coming to the second one, find out time when you know the angle. That means think like this. I want to find out at what time between 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock, okay, the hands are going to be exactly 90 degrees. That means that, in a particular time, the clocks are going to make an angle 90. You need to find out what time it is. If you think it's 3:30, I told you this is actually wrong. So if you want to form 90 degrees angle, in general, it's going to be like this. Okay, this is going to be our 90 because if the hour hand is in between 3 and 4 means minute hand should be in between 6 and 7. Then only you can form 90 degrees. So he is going to mention the angle and you are going to find out at what time you are going to get that exact angle. First one is we are going to find out angle from the time. Then you are going to find out time from the angle that you know. For example, at what time between 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock, hands are going to be exactly 180 degrees. So I want to find out at what time between 3 and 4 o'clock you are going to make an angle of 180. Most of the people will say this is 3:45, but that's wrong because in this 45 minutes, the hour hand is going to be somewhere in between 3 and 4. Similarly, if you want to find out, if you want to make 180 degrees angle, this has to be in between 9 and 10. So the actual time is going to be like this. Okay, the actual angle is going to be like this and time is going to be like this to form 180, but not the first case. So you are going to find out this particular time where you can form an angle of 180 degrees. And coming to the third model, coincidence problem. Coincidence in the problem, in the sense, he is going to ask like this: how many times in 12 hours the hands of a clock are going to coincide? The hands of a clock are going to come in opposite direction. The hands of a clock are going to form 90 degrees. The hands of a clock are going to form 180 degrees, like this. He will ask four different kind of questions. First one, how many times they are going to coincide? How many times they are going to form 180? How many times they are going to form 90? These kind of questions. You are going to answer those problems. And last and final one is wrong clock problem. Wrong clock in the sense, let us take you are having a faulty clock which is gaining 5 minutes for every 1 hour. That means, let us take you are having a clock, you set in one more accurate clock and set yours as 9 o'clock. After 1 hour, the original clock is showing 10 o'clock, but yours is showing 10:05. That means it gained 5 minutes in 1 hour, like because of faulty conditions or maybe because of dials issue. It is running faster compared to the original clock. So if you are having such kind of clock, he is going to ask like this: if the time in original clock is 9 p.m., what is the time in the faulty clock? Or if the time in faulty clock is 9 p.m., what is the time in the original clock? Okay, like you are having a faulty clock, he will give you accurate time and ask you to find out faulty one, or he will give you faulty one and ask you to find out original time. So there are two more cases, which is gaining is one case and one more thing is losing case. Losing in that sense, your watch is going to run slower compared to the original clock. So we are going to cover these four models. We are going to cover this video in two parts. In the first part, we are going to cover the intro part as well as the first model. In the second video, we are going to cover the remaining three models. Okay, so why delay? Let's get started. So before starting, let's have the basics of clocks. See guys, in a clock we are going to have 12 digit. Okay, we are going to have 12 digit. If you observe, each digit is going to indicate 1 hour. That means 12 hours together are covering 360 degrees because it's a circle. So 12 digits together are covering 360 degrees. That means 12 hours are covering 360 degrees. That means 1 hour value is equal to 360 by 12, which is equal to 30 degrees. So 1 hour is equal to 30 degrees. What is meant by that? If you take any successive digits, let us take 12 and 1. If you observe the angle between them, this is going to be 30 degrees. Similarly, if you take 1 and 2, if you find out angle between them, this is going to be exactly 30 degrees. So the angle covered by each hour is equal to 30 degrees. Similarly, how many minutes are going to be there on a clock? We know in a clock we are going to have 60 minutes. That means, in between these two digits, you are going to have 4 small dots. Each space is going to indicate a minute. Like that, in a clock, we are going to have 60 minutes. These 60 minutes also going to cover 360 degrees. Why? Because see, it's going to start here, then it's going to come up to this point. We are going to have 60 dots like this. So 60 minutes together are covering 360 degrees. Then what is the angle covered by 1 minute? That is going to be 360 by 60, which is 6 degrees. That means 1 hour is equal to 30 degrees and 1 minute is equal to 6 degrees. So let us take 12 and 1. If you observe the entire angle, this is going to be 30 degrees. Similarly, there are going to be 4 small dots which are going to indicate 5 spaces each equal to 1 minute. So if you find out angle between any 2 minutes, okay, this angle is going to be 6 degrees. So 1 minute is equal to 6 degrees and 1 hour equal to 30 degrees. So let's take an example. Okay, 3:30. If you observe here carefully, guys, think like this. Each hour equal to 30 degrees. That means 3 hours should be equal to 3 into 30, 90 degrees. So if you take 12 as the reference point, 3 is going to be exactly at 90 degrees. Yes, yes. Then we are having 30 minutes. So each hour equal to 30 degrees. That's why 3 hours equal to 90 degrees. Similarly, each minute equal to 6 degrees. So 30 minutes are going to be 30 into 6, which is going to be 180 degrees. So from here, if you find out 180 degrees, you are going to get 6. Now, if you see, the angle between them is exactly 90, which is true in our case, but not in the original clock. Why? Because in this 30 minutes time, okay, our hand is going to slightly come downwards, like in this direction. So because of that, the angle is generally less than 90. Now we are going to find out that effect. I'm repeating once again, guys. If you just take hours and minutes, you are going to get exactly 90 in between hour hand and minute hand, which is wrong in the general clock. Now we need to find out how much this hour hand is coming down with respect to the minutes. That's what you are going to find out now. Just follow the blue color. Okay. Now, guys, I will give an example for this one. So let us take the time is 3 o'clock. After 1 hour, the time is going to be 4 o'clock. So if you observe here, minute hand is starting from here and it's okay, traveling the entire circle and coming back to the same position. That means we can say that minute hand moved by 60 minutes. In that time, our hand is coming from 3 to 4. That means our hand is moving from 3 to 4. That means we can say our hand moved by 30 degrees. So remember one thing, when the minute hand is moved by 60 minutes, okay, the hour hand is moving only 30 degrees. So we can say that for every 1 minute movement of minute hand, it's gonna move the hour hand by half degree extra. See, guys, in our case, minute hand is going to revolve independent. But if you take the hour hand, that movement will be affected by minute hand also. The more minutes it is, the more it's gonna far away from the original number. For example, see, at 3 o'clock, it's gonna be like this. At 3:05, it's gonna be slightly somewhere here. At 3:10, it's gonna be somewhere here. At 3:15, it's gonna be somewhere here. That means the more you are going away from 12 o'clock in terms of minutes, the more the hour hand is going to go away from 3 o'clock. Okay, what I want to say here is, the more minutes there are, let us take 3:45. So on 45, minute hand is going to be on 9. But by that time, our hand is going to be almost reaches 4. That means the more minutes you are having here, the far away it's gonna go from 3. That means the movement of our hand is actually affected by movement of the minute hand also. So we are going to find out that effect here. Now see. So for that I have taken this example. See here. Take this 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. So if you observe here, from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, minute hand moved by 60 minutes. In that time, our hand moved from 3 to 4. That means it moved by 30 degrees. So 60 minutes movement of the minute hand is affecting the hour hand by 30 degrees. So in 1 minute, it is affecting the hour hand by half degree. That means that, let us take at 3 o'clock, exactly the clock is going to be like this. After 1 minute, that means 3-1, okay, exactly at 3-1, this hour hand is going to be come down by exactly half degree. Again, at 3-2, it's going to come down by half plus of 1 degree. So for every 1 minute movement of minute hand, it's going to move the hour hand by half degree. So let's move back and see what we have learned till now. First one, 1 hour is equal to 30 degrees. 1 minute is equal to, 1 minute is equal to 6 degrees. Repeating, 1 hour equal to 30 degrees and 1 minute is equal to 6 degrees. Similarly, for every 1 minute movement of minute hand, it's gonna move the hour hand by half degree. Okay, these are the three things that you need to remember here. So 1 hour 30, 1 minute 6. For every 1 minute time in the minute hand, it's gonna move the hour hand by half degree. Okay, so let us see how you are going to solve the problems. Now we want to find out angle between hour hand and minute hand when the time is 3:30. So see here, we are having time as 3:30. Now if you see here, 1 hour equal to 30 degrees, so 3 hours should be equal to 90 degrees. So if you take 12 as a reference point, from here exactly at 90 you are going to have 3. Now similarly, 1 minute equal to 6 degrees, so 30 minutes is going to be 180 degrees. So from here you are going to get 6 at 180. So now what you need to do is, you need to find out how much this hour hand is coming down from 3. So for that, what you need to do is, you have to find out effect of minute hand. So for every 1 minute movement of minute hand, it is going to move hour hand by half degree extra. That means how many extra minutes we are having here? We are having 30 minutes. So in 30 minutes, it is going to move the hour hand extra by 15 degrees. So from here, it's going to come down by 15 degrees. We know this entire angle equal to 90. Okay, but we know that this came down by 15 degrees. So 90 minus 15, it is going to be 75 degrees is your final answer. I will repeat just in a simple terms. So think like this. You have to solve the problem like this. So 3, 4, 6. First of all, we know that this is hour hand and this is minute hand. So take 12 as the reference point. From this, find out what is the angle made by hour hand. From here, find out what is the angle made by minute hand. Subtract one from the other, you will get angle between hour hand and minute hand. I am repeating once again. First of all, try to find out angle made by hour hand. Then try to find out angle made by minute hand. Simply subtract one angle from other, you will get angle between them. See here, I am going to find out angle made by hour hand first. But remember, while calculating angle made by hour hand, you have to take hours as well as effect of the minute hand. I will explain here. See, how many hours are there? In our problem, we are calculating for 3:30. So we are having 3 hours. So each hour is equal to 30 degrees. So 3 hours is going to be 3 into 30. So if you calculate up to this part, you are going to get a straight line like this. But we want to find out this extra angle that is moving. So for that extra angle, what you need to do is, you have to add how many minutes are there, those many half degrees. Because for every 1 minute, it is going to move the hour hand by half degree. But we are moving by 30 minutes. So it has already moved by 30 into 15 degrees. So if you calculate here, 90 plus 15, which is equal to 105 degrees. That means if you take this as the reference point, okay, the hour hand is exactly 105 degrees from starting point. From here, it's going to be 105 degrees. That is the angle made by hour hand. So I'm repeating once again. First of all, you need to find out angle made by hour hand. For that, you have to take hours as well as effect of the minute hand. Simply take how many hours are there, multiply with 30, because 1 hour equal to 30 degrees. Similarly, you need to find out extra movement of the hour hand. For that, how many minutes are there, multiply with half, because for every 1 minute movement of the minute hand, it is going to move the hour hand by half degree. So 30 minutes extra means 30 into 15 degrees extra. So if you add both of them, you are going to get 105. That means from starting point, the hour hand is 105 degrees. So from here, it's going to be 105 degrees. Now, find out angle made by minute hand. Simply, we know that every minute equal to 6 degrees. So how many minutes are there? Multiply with 6. You are going to get 180 degrees. That means from here, the minute hand is exactly at 180 degrees. So this is minute hand. So hour hand is at 105 and minute hand is 180. If you want to find out angle between hour hand and minute hand, simply subtract one from the other. You are going to get your answer. That's it. I will just repeat once again. Then we will move on to next model. So first what you need to do is you have to find out angle made by hour hand. Okay. Then you want to find out angle made by minute hand. Subtract one from the other. You will get your answer. So to find out angle made by hour hand, what you need to do here is find out how many hours are there, multiply with 30 because each hour equal to 30 degrees. If you do only up to this part, you are going to get a straight line on 3. But we have to find out the extra part. For that, how many minutes are there, multiply with those many offs. Because for every 1 minute movement, it is going to move the hour hand by half degree extra. So 30 minutes moving means 30 times half extra, which is equal to 15 degrees. This entire sum is going to give you angle made by hour hand. So from here to here, this angle is equal to 105 degrees. Then find out angle made by minute hand. We know 1 minute equal to 6 degrees, but we have moved by 30 minutes. So 30 into 6 is going to be 180 degrees. So minute hand moved by 180, hour hand moved by 105. We need to find out angle between them. For that, simply subtract one from the other, you will get your final answer. Okay, I will give one more example. Let's say I want to find out angle between hour hand and minute hand when the time is 4:20. Most of the people will think 4:30 will look like this. Okay, both the dials are going to be on 4. They will think like this, but this is not true. In the original clock, it's going to be like this. The minute hand is exactly on 4, but the hour hand will be slightly crosses 4. The hour hand slightly crosses 4, but the minute hand is going to be exactly on 4. So what we are going to do is we are going to find out this angle between hour hand and minute hand. So first what you need to find out, you need to find out angle made by hour hand. For that, you need to multiply hours with 30. Okay, plus you have to multiply the extra minutes with off. So how many hours are there? Those many 30s. How many minutes extra are there? Multiply with off, you will get the extra angle. That means how far it is going away from 4. So in our case, we are having 4 hours. So 4 into 30. Plus we are having 20 minutes extra in our case. So 20 into off. So this is going to be 120 plus 10, 130 degrees. That means that from here, the hour hand is going to be 130 degrees from the starting point, which is equal to be here. Let us take this is 4 and this is 5. This angle is going to be 130 degrees. Then find angle made by minute hand. Simply multiply the minutes with 6 because each minute is equal to 6 degrees. So 20 into 6 is going to be 120 degrees. So from here, the minute hand is going to be exactly at 120 degrees. That is exactly on 4. So if you want to find out angle between hour hand and minute hand, subtract one from the other. So 130 minus 120, there is going to be 10 degrees gap between hour hand and minute hand. Okay, that's our first model. We are going to continue from the second model in part 2. Thank you.